Haha. Yo, what's up, little homies, boys and girls, ladies and gents? Today's topic is about kids talking gang talk, kids walking gang walk. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to walk it, you got to be real, and you could die or do life in the pen. You know what I'm saying? Don't trip. You got this friend. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk.
Yeah. Good evening and welcome to Kids Talk Gang Talk. This is a show that deals with interventions and alternatives to gang violence. I'm your host, G. Riley. I know you were expecting Sunda to be here, but she told me to tell you that since she's having a baby, she's been advised by a doctor to relax at home and stay off her feet. Well, if you know Sunda like I know Sunda, that's not going to be easy. She's like a ball of energy. Relaxing at home is not easy for her to do. What really amazes me about Sunda, despite her being pregnant, she's still one of the hardest working women in show business. Not only does she bring lots of energy to the show, when she finishes here, she gets up and she'll go somewhere and do comedy somewhere. How many pregnant women do you know who jump right up and go to another job and have a baby? That's unheard of, but not for Sunda. We all thought she was going to have a baby right here in the studio or at the comedy club. Baby come out telling jokes right off the bat. Anyway, we wish her the best and hope that she has a healthy child. On today's show, we have guests from the Los Angeles County chapter of Maad Dads, which stands for Men Against Destruction, Defending Against Drugs and Social Disorder. This started out of pain, the pain of children dying in the streets of their own communities. Maad Dads became fed up with the violence and the unmolested flow of illegal drugs in their community. They presented themselves as positive role models and as parents who wanted to be visible. Presence against the negative forces destroying children, families, and neighborhoods. They held no one responsible for this but themselves. They had allowed this to happen. So they united as a handful of community fathers.
The most important city in the world is hidden beneath the sea. The coral reef is home to more species than any place on Earth. It keeps the oceans healthy. It keeps our planet healthy. Unfortunately, overfishing and pollution are destroying the coral reef. Most will disappear in our lifetime, unless you help. But just think, if you do, you might just save the world.
Her daddy left home this morning.
I'll be there.
Forever.
Wait and see.
She'll be twice as likely to get pregnant in her teens. 37% more likely to abuse drugs.
'Cause I love you.
Even if you don't live with your kids, your emotional and financial support gives them a better chance.
The best friend you ever had.
I'm principal of a new kind of public school. It's open up to 15 hours a day, year-round. It has loads of academic, cultural, and recreational activities. We have medical and dental services right here. Our teachers have more time to teach. Our students are better prepared to learn. There's just one problem. We can't get the kids to go home.
Find out how your school can be more like this one. Call 1-877-LOVE-TO-LEARN.
Kids talking gang talk, walking gang walk. Kids talking gang talk.
Okay, we're going to introduce our musical guest today. We got L.A. Wevo in the house.
Yeah. What's up? I don't know, you tell me, dog. What's up, V-Rock? You know how we do it, baby girl. West Side, It feels good in the hood because my pocket's like fat. It took a lot of tussle and hustle to get my cheddar like stacked. A lot of hard work, food, so call me mister. I'ma flip it up, twist it up, worse than a twister. And when you see me curve serving, you know I'm about to hit it. Rock it up, pocket it up, you know I got to get it. Brother thought Wevo had sat back, relax. I'm about to hit you over the head like the movie Deep Impact. Rolling like a boulder, post up like a soldier. I thought that you knew food, I thought that I told ya. Pacific is the label, whoop whoop is the publishing. Like my nephew EJ Fools, I got to keep hustling. And I click that I roll with 5 West, bulletproof vest, serving stress. Are you impressed? This is how we do it in California, easy. Rolling through the city on a hot summer DJ. Rolling non-stop, convertible top, digging in the scene with the gangster lean. cheddar. Turned on my MPCC, watch me get busy, and watch these other fools around me straight get dizzy. Weevil is the name, dropping shit like a seagull. Weevil is the name, hitting curves like a Rego. Tripping and dipping in my 560. Known to the hood as the inner city hero. Rolling through Inglewood, panties still dry. Like rolling on the west side. I haven't stopped, jump in my super sport. Sitting on Dana Danes. Like JD said, fool, money ain't a thing. Gotta concentrate on my cheddar. Every room in my house is plushed out with leather. Big screen TV for the Lakers. Big ass cat for you motherfucking fakers. Gotta keep it real, gotta keep it real. Like EPMD said, you got to chill. Rolling non-stop, yeah, convertible top. Dig it in the scene with the gangster lean. What's up, Spike G? What's up? Gotta make the cheddar, gotta make the cheddar. Rolling non-stop, convertible top. Dig it in the scene with the gangster lean. Gotta make the cheddar, gotta make the cheddar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How you like this groove? I love it.
As we go a little something like this.
I'ma twist it up, hit it up one more time. I'ma drop this chronic sack like a snitch out the dime. As I rolls in my Benz, down to 110. Convertible top back, yo, I'm in the winds. Spike G, they don't feel it. They don't get it, about to show these motherfuckers how to twist it. As I keep my rhyme slanging, who banging? Posted up with my dogs just hanging. My stomach started growling, it's time to shake. I'ma roll to Santa Monica for a hoagie piece of steak. A girl that I met last week, she just paid. I stopped by her house and hit it, now I'm like straight. Rolling non-stop, yeah, heard about top. Dig it in the seat, do it, gangster lean. You big old player, you. Gotta make the cheddar, gotta make the cheddar. Rolling non-stop, yeah, heard about top. Dig it in the scene with the gangster lean. What's up, dog? What's up, Tukey, dog? Gotta make the cheddar, gotta make the cheddar. Rolling non-stop, convertible. What's up, Tikey? Dig it in the scene with the gangster lean. That's how we do it, huh? Gotta make the cheddar, gotta make the cheddar. Rolling non-stop, convertible. All my dogs. Dig it in the scene with the gangster lean. Can you feel it? Gotta make the cheddar, gotta make the cheddar.
As we go a little something like this. Hit it.
Welcome back to Kids Talk, Gang Talk. Again, I'm your host, G. Riley, sitting in for Sundu Kroonquist. That was a great performance by L.A. Wevo. We're going to talk to him later on in the show to hear what he has to say about his music. But right now, I want you to meet our next guest. They're from Maad Dads organization. I welcome Kenneth Riley, Michael Jones, and Ingrid Sanders to the show. Fellas and ladies, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Kenneth, how'd you become president of chapter of Maad Dads?
Well, back in 1995, the founding fathers of Maad Dads received an award from the Essence Award, and I happened to be watching it that evening, and I saw what these brothers were doing in Omaha, Nebraska, and it encouraged me to do something like that in the city of Los Angeles. So I made a telephone call to the fathers. They returned my call and gave me some information about how to get a Maad Dads chapter started in the whole 9 yards. And I got some people together in the community, some brothers I knew who had been working in the community doing some things already, and some ladies, and just a whole bunch of community people. And we came together and started having meetings and started talking about how we can come together and start a Maad Dads chapter, and that's basically how I got started.
That's interesting. Was it hard rounding up people?
Oh, no, because you have a lot of people that I'm associated with who's been working with young kids and working with families for a long time. And so when I told them about the concept of Maad Dads and what it was all about, it wasn't even hard to get individuals involved. And really this was before the Million Man March. And so we had some brothers who was concerned about what was happening in their community. And so to get people to the table at that time wasn't really no problem.
Were you ever in the gang yourself?
Almost definitely. I was born and raised on 87th and Central. Started gang banging when I was 12 years old.
12 years old. I mean, that's. What'd your parents? I mean, did they?
My parents are old school. You know, they really didn't even know I was really involved in the gang. because at that time, it was just about camaraderie. You didn't have a lot of people who were dying because as a result of being involved in the gang. And so the gang violence and the deaths, it wasn't really a big factor. I mean, it wasn't noticeable as it is today.
Right. So now your life's a success story.
Oh, if you so want to say that.
Did it take a miracle to turn you around?
Well, I wouldn't call it a miracle. It just took somebody to really pound into me what life was really all about and what I had opportunity to do and how I could be an inspiration to a lot of young people who at one time looked up to me when I was living a negative lifestyle, and now can look up to me as being a positive individual.
So who was that person that grabbed you by the neck and changed you?
Her name is Margot Wainwright. She's the executive director of Youth Intervention Program. She took the chance on me. She gave me the opportunity when nobody else wouldn't give me opportunity. She made me see things that myself didn't even see. She sat me down. We had long conversations. We used to talk about many of things. And she just helped me see the light. And then also the fact that was the father of a whole lot of kids at this time, and I just felt the need to want to do something more positive for my kids. I didn't want my young boys growing up thinking that being a dope dealer or being a gangbanger was the way to go.
Right. So I guess she's just proud of you now, huh?
Oh, I hope so.
Okay, tell me something about you that you want people to remember you by.
Well, a person that that came from a negative individual and who moved on to a positive individual and who was concerned about his community and other people's communities, and was just dedicated to helping young boys grow up to be responsible men.
That's right, man. Well, I'm proud of what you're doing. Mike, what's up, man?
Brother? Pretty good.
What's up, man? How'd you get a job teaching gang intervention classes?
Well, it's kind of interesting. I started out doing a stretch in YA, and during that stretch, I looked at my son at a visit, and he called me daddy, and all during my time, I took pride in being a father, but, I wasn't really there as a father. But the day he called me daddy, it really hit me because what I realized was that even in my absence, he still identified me as, that hero role, that manly role. So I had to put on them shoes and start wearing them. So at that point in time, I started reading. Couldn't read that well, so I started teaching myself to read. Getting all this information, I figured, what was I going to do with this information once I came home? So I started trying to do different things. I had all these concepts in my head like I still do. And so what I did was I started talking to different people, and I actually met somebody who knew, Kenneth. And so he gave me Kenneth's number and told me to call him. So I went and seen him. And he was like, seemed like you know a lot of stuff. What you gonna do with it? So I came by to see him one day, and he happened to have a group of kids there. He said, go and holler at them. Let me see what you're working with. So I talked to the kids. I was able to reach some kids that they thought was at sometimes unreachable. And I was able to capture their attention. And by that, it was motivating to me, so I kept coming by. He kept letting me talk to him. He kept letting me spend time with certain kids, and by that, I became more motivated. Then a position came open, and they put me in it.
That's interesting. You think it's hard to get through to kids today?
It depends on who you are and what your motive is. Like Smokey would say, some people are too old-fashioned. And some people are too new age. You got to have a balance. And what I mean by that is, to deal with a child today, you have to not only remember who you were when you had that child, because you got to revert back to the same mind state you had at 15 if you're dealing with a 15-year-old. Because that child has your mind. He's your child. He's your reflection. And if you think at 35 you can address him as a 35-year-old, then you're going to miss him every time.
That's right.
And if you try to shoot too low, then you're going to miss him also. So you got to step to him on the page that the child is on. And you have to understand what they're going through. They got stresses and struggles just like you. Now, your stress and struggle may be bills now, but theirs is, they teacher tripping. And you have to relate that and just deal with the basics a lot of time, because sometimes we try to get too complex for them, and by doing that, we miss them. Shoot over their head.
So what's the difference between a intervention and prevention classes?
To be honest with you, the real core issue is the audience. It's just like speaking. It's the audience. The information is the same a lot of times, but how you craft it and how you deliver it is based on the audience. Now, if you got a 7-year-old, you're trying to prevent him from becoming in the gang. Now, you got a 17-year-old who's on probation, you still trying to prevent him from ending up in prison. It is intervention because he's already in the gang,
right,
but you're still trying to prevent him from going further.
Yeah, the
so
next
you
step.
intervening in the process of where he's going. And the same thing with parenting. We use the same information with parents because parents need to understand how to go home and address their kids. Now, is that prevention or intervention? It's helping them understand how to prevent their kids from going any further, so we teach them how to intervene. And it's all kind of the same information, but based on the audience, that shows what it's actually what we're doing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. So how is the at-risk youth first identified, and who refers them to you?
At-risk youth, that's a catchy word, and we laugh about that in the inner community because, inner city community, because so many people use the word at risk, but everybody's at risk. Everybody in the city is at risk of a stray bullet hitting their car or a stray bullet coming through their window. We all at risk. The funny thing about it is there's been certain communities that are identified as being at risk because so many people, a certain number of people have died there. And I think the reality is based on a parent just saying, I see that there are things going wrong and I think this might affect my child. And they just stepping forward. And that's what it's all about, us seeing the possibility and trying to prevent it before it becomes a problem. And that's the whole thing. We as a people have become so reactionary that we wait till it happens, then we react. And we're reacting out of emotion, not out of thought. But if we just took the time to look at things as they're happening, it'd be a whole lot easier. And a lot of people who are referred to us are parents whose kids have already got out of hand. And then they say, well, yeah, I knew, but I just wanted to let him be a kid. And the thing is letting them be a kid, it doesn't mean that you have to let them run over you. And there's a limit that we all know. Now, there's the difference between abuse and discipline. You have to know that guideline. And you have to realize there's a point when your kid has gone too far and you need to check him. You might have to keep him home one day. Not because you didn't beat him, but because you need to talk to him.
Well, you know, something like there's a difference between a spanking and a beating.
Exactly.
You know, and I mean, me personally, I'm all for spankings. Because I mean, it kept me in line.
Because it's to get your attention.
That's right.
It's just
That's
to get
right.
your attention.
It kept me in line.
It's not to hurt you. It's to get your attention.
That's right. Yeah. You know what? You don't want to be getting pleasure out of hitting your kid. You just got to make sure that he or she won't do that again. So, what high crime areas are focused on the most?
The area that we focus on the most is probably the Hyde Park area. And for a few different reasons, in the Hyde Park area, you have Crenshaw Boulevard, the cruising strip. You have a few different elementary schools. You have Crenshaw High School. You have so many different things going on in that area. But the biggest issue is that on Sunday nights, Hyde Park area, where Crenshaw Boulevard is mostly cruised at, is where you find people from all over coming. So you end up seeing a lot of crimes that usually would stay on the east side or the west side coming to the Hyde Park area on Sunday night, because all them people want to come there and show off their car and how they done fixed it up, how it's looking nice, and they end up running into some people that they didn't think was going to be there, rivalries. And what we try to do is we try to intervene in that community, not only in the prevention area, but in the early intervention. So we talk to anywhere from elementary school kids to high school kids, some early college kids. Trying to get involved more with the families to help them understand how to attend to the elementary school kids so they don't even become attracted to the lifestyle.
I can understand that. Before we run out of time, I want to talk to Ingrid here. Hi, Ingrid.
Hello,
how are you? And what part do you play in all of this?
Well, I'm the executive assistant to the president, as well as I work in collaboration with Mike on our gang intervention classes, because another component of that is we also talk, my background is health education. So one of the other things, the program that we have is a teen pregnancy prevention program. So in collaboration with Mike on his gang intervention classes, I do health education. And
So the three of you working together, y'all are doing a crack-up job out there. You got to keep up the work, because somebody's got to teach these kids. Somebody's got to grab these kids by the neck.
By the neck, huh?
Well, you know what I mean.
That's abuse, brother. That's abuse.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay, folks, we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Estelle Ward, and I'd like to speak to someone about my daughter Ruth's financial aid. Hello, yes, I'm Ruth Ward's mom, and I was hoping the university might reconsider. She got good grades. Hello, I'm Ruth Ward's mother, and I'd like to speak to someone about my daughter's financial aid.
Are you here to play hockey? Because I'm not here to coach a bunch of cheerleaders. I need men. who hit and hit hard. I don't ever want to see one of my players back down from a fight.
I want to see blood out there. Either take it like a man or take a seat on the bench. Is that clear?
As adults, we need to be careful about the lessons we teach.
One day these rats were playing in the woods.
What is some matches and that's no good?
Listen to smoke before you give it a try.
Only you.
Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about 3,000. Nothing very nice on a homeless mind. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Fire.
Okay, ready? 1 zip my point. 2 zip my point. Yes! 3 zip.
There is a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
5 zip. Your serve.
Walking gang walk, kids talking gang talk. Walking gang walk, kids talking gang talk.
I'm all over the place. Okay, we're back. As soon as this show is over, I'm going to call Soon to see if she had her baby yet. I know having a baby is not an easy process. Ladies, you ever wonder what it would be like if women could get men pregnant? Whenever my wife would try to kiss me, I'd get paranoid and freeze up. I think she had something up her sleeve. I'd probably say, didn't your parents ever teach you anything? You know what kissing can lead to? God knew to fix it where men couldn't have kids because he knew we wouldn't be fruitful and multiply. If Eve could have gotten Adam pregnant, what would his reaction have been? Each time Eve approached him, I think it would have went something like this. Honey, you look so fabulous in that suit. I picked some fruit from the garden. In suspicion, Adam responded, now Eve, you know God told me not to eat from that tree. Besides, I don't even like apples. But somehow Eve got Adam to eat the apple like the good book says. Then in an angry voice, God looked down at Adam, yelled at him and said, Adam, from this day forward, I'm going to make an example of you. You'll be the first man to ever bear a child. Are you ready? Then Adam raised his head, looked up at God in a humbling voice and said, not tonight, God. I got a headache. If women could get men pregnant, most men would still be a virgin. Let's hear what L.A. Weevo has to say about all this. L.A. Weevo.
Hey, how's it going?
You guys are tight, man.
All right,
You guys are tight. How'd you guys meet?
Let's see. I met Impo. I was working at a studio, and he came in to do a demo. And at the time, he didn't know I was a producer. He came in with his crew and he wanted to do a beat. So I told him he can go ahead and produce his own track. But at the time, he didn't know I was a producer. So I let him sit there for a little while and play with the keyboard. I told him, move aside. Let me handle this for you. So after that, I said, hey, we need to form a clique. So I hooked him up. I had already known Spike G since '93. So it all worked together.
So how long you guys been doing this?
Well, let's see. I've been doing this since '87, so that's about, what, 14 years.
Oh, yeah. You've been out there.
Yeah.
You've been out there.
I mean, I've been with different cliques and crews, and finally I said, hey, I need to start doing this myself. 'Cause I used to just write, but now I'm producing, engineer.
Oh, you do it all, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You're the man. You're the man.
Well, not yet. I'm trying to get there.
So you guys been on the road? You hit the road a lot?
Somewhat. We just started performing. Matter of fact, we just did a show last Friday night. Turned out good. We turned.
Where was the show at?
It was in South Central. Yeah.
That's cool, man. I mean, I like what you're doing, man. Y'all got some tight beats, and can anybody just sing or you just rap?
Well, we just rap, but we do have singers. We do have singers in the clique. Like on that one song, we have singers that come in and do a drop. And
who inspired you guys?
The whole music industry. I like oldies. I like new. I like rap, R&B. I even like some pop, but.
Yeah, I was sitting in the car as I was driving over here today, and I was listening to some rappers on I think it was one of the radio stations, man. You know me, I just, as you see, I could just fumble with some words. I ain't got no problem. I got no problem fumbling with some words, man. But you guys, I'm telling you, man, you stick with it. Anybody, any kind of deals in the works, anything like that?
Oh, well, right now I have my own label, and I'm searching for a distribution deal, like a major, because each of these guys, they have their own album, and I have my own. Then we have a complete CD with all of us, which is 5 West, featured Impo and Spike G, and Diane Wells.
Is there a message that you want to put out in your music? Are you having a good time? When you sit down, do you say, okay, I want to reach these kids and I want them to come away with this from my music?
Well, what I'm trying to do on my first CD, basically is just me talking about how I live. And so what I want to do, I do want to grab young kids, and once I get their attention, because you got to get their attention first, and then once I get their attention, I want to teach.
Right.
But you know, you can't come out corny, and because they won't listen. They won't listen to you.
That's
So you got to give them what they want, get their attention, then they'll listen.
That's right. Well, I like that. I like what you're doing, man.
All right.
You guys sound great.
Thanks, man.
It's wonderful. So, yeah, you know, I'm winging this, man. I don't, you know.
Yeah. Oh, players just wanna play. Said players just wanna play. Players, they just wanna play. Players just wanna play.
My erection is perfection, never been weak. Go down there and talk to him, he'll speak. Tell him what he wanna hear, hum some tunes. You'll loosen up, consume some booms. Hit this J and don't think about him. Turn on the red lights, now it's kinda dim. Pick on some knee pads, give me Lewinsky. You know it's been a long time, baby, since he made you come like I do. You be dripping when you can't get at me, then your ass be tripping. Your butt stay nuts in 21 minutes. Baby, shut the fuck up, you're waking up the tenants. We going over minutes, so I can show you to him. My nigga kinda fly, you might wanna do him. So we jump in the nav to the embassy suites. From the front and the back, every hole in the sheets.
Players just wanna play. They just wanna play. Players just wanna play. Play. Players, they just wanna play. Players just wanna play.
Check it out. Welcome back. How can I hit you with this rhyme? Shall I slow it down, speed it up, twist it up one more time? I don't know, but let me take my time and put it out like I should. Holding the mic, hold it tight, it's all to the good. Let me call up my homies to see what's up for the night. You know 5 West, you know we hook it up just right. Where are we going and where do you want to start? They said meet me at the spot, you know Hollywood Park. So I jumped in my convertible, B&Z-O, black on black, tinted windows, license plate say we both. Girls wedding because they know what time it is. They see the plates on my Benz and they want to get in. So I roll my window down because you know it's on. Baby looking good, nice red bone. She said, I know this makes like crazy, can I ride with you, babes? I said, this type of shit can happen every day. Yeah,
just wanna play.
Cause I'm a player.